We've all been to school, we've gone to class, but of all the things you know you've learned, how many of those things do you remember? What do you really have to show for all that training besides the 3-ring binder? There may be a catchy little poster on the wall in your office, but I highly doubt you're using them on the job. The current system isn't working, and it's about to be replaced. What if training covered both content and experience? What if everything you wanted to learn you practiced, like you practiced when you learned to ride a bike? Consider a flight simulator where pilots in training experience a full range of in-flight conditions and learn how to handle them without risk to passengers or equipment. We've applied this same concept to a virtual workplace, a flight simulator for lean transformation, where participants enter as a team and do the work required to produce a product. The business results in this simulation are a consequence of the interaction of all the pieces, the people doing the jobs, the processes they use, and the way they communicate with each other. We accelerate experience by condensing time and events. The simulation is a safe place to practice what they're learning, without the risk of damaging the real business. The real world is not the best place to experiment. The difference between our method and all the others is this: everybody teaches content. We teach too. But with us, you practice the content. And by repeated practice, you begin to gain real experience. In real life, that experience takes time to gain. In the simulation, we condense time and events, and we accelerate your experience.
Everything's changed. Great approach. It's almost like military. You cut us down, you tear us apart, you make us turn on each other, and then before you know it, we're a band of brothers, and we come together, and everything turns out great. And
we've shown drastic improvements. Our safety record is improved because of what we've learned, and we're continually improving.
It is sustained.
I just don't think that anybody could come to this class and not get anything out of it. It's impossible. You're going to learn this class. You're forced to learn. That's what there's no way you're going to fall asleep and forget everything you know. You're forced to learn here.
It's just a different process. I mean, it clicked something in your mind, or my mind, that hasn't shut off since the time I've left the classroom. Like I said, I don't shut it off, and I'm not going to turn it back on when I get to work. It's just turned on, and I think it's always going to be on.
Whatever they do in the virtual workplace is recorded. And within a few short hours of performing in the workplace, their performance is reviewed in a formal debrief.
That date? No, unacceptable. You think I'm not going to pay attention? Intentions were good. Consequences were what? Negative. Unbelievable.
They're faced with the consequences of their performance, and they learn from that very quickly.
You learn how to start standardizing everything.
The cost went down, the productivity went up, the safety was there.
I never seen anything that played on your feelings and emotions like a class like this. You know, other classes, yeah, you may get tired from listening or watching movies, but some of the things that you did actually made you feel angry or frustrated, or that you actually failed. And I'm sure everybody in the class wanted to quit at one time or another. I know I did, but you get back up, you dust yourself off because you want to succeed. And you don't want to be a quitter.
The course had you frustrated and excited at the same time, and that you have to experience it for yourself.
I was used to the normal class where the teacher stands up and you're fighting to stay awake. Well, there was no chance of falling asleep in this class. Everything was interesting and right to the point, and then you were looking forward to getting back into the factory and trying to make it right.
They learn that any operation is a system, and all the parts have to work together. They learn that they have to lead and follow wherever they are in the organization. They learn the importance of clear communication, how to resolve conflict, and how to work together as a team.
We need to form teams, fix the problem, and then communicate it to everybody else before we walk out the door of this place.
We're all one freaking team here, right?
They practice using the tools and supporting process that they've learned, and they experience the effect.
There's such an amazing dynamic in this program whereby you play different roles, you assume different responsibilities, and that is a big part of learning as well.
My boss told me
And it's hard to say something about another person, operator, supervisor, until you've walked a mile in their shoes. So in this position here, some people got to walk in them positions and vice versa. So now you know.
Of all the things you know you've learned, how many of those things do you know you remember?
Something I'll hold on to for the rest of my life.